And when one of them is informed of the birth of a female, his face becomes dark and he suppresses grief. He hides himself from the people because of the ill of which he has been informed. Should he keep it in humiliation or bury it in the ground? Unquestionably, evil is what they decide. And when the girl who was buried alive is asked for what sin she was killed, and likewise to many of the polytheists their partners have made to seem pleasing the killing of their children in order to bring about their destruction and to cover them with confusion in their religion. And if Allah had willed, they would not have done so. So leave them and that which they invent. Say, come, I will recite what your Lord has prohibited to you. He commands that you not associate anything with him, and to parents good treatment, and do not kill your children out of poverty. We will provide for you and them. And do not approach immoralities, what is apparent of them and what is concealed. And do not kill the soul which Allah has forbidden to be killed except by legal right. This has He instructed you that you may use reason. And do not kill your children for fear of poverty. We provide for them and for you. Indeed, their killing is ever a great sin. And their prayer at the house was not except whistling and hand clapping. So taste the punishment for what you disbelieved. Allah has not appointed such innovations as Bahira or Sa'iba or Wasila or Ham. But those who disbelieve invent falsehood about Allah, and most of them do not reason. And the polytheists assign to Allah from that which He created of crops and livestock a share and say, this is for Allah, by their claim, and this is for our partners associated with Him. But what is for their partners does not reach Allah, while what is for Allah, this reaches their partners. Evil is that which they rule. And do not eat of that upon which the name of Allah has not been mentioned, for indeed it is grave disobedience. And indeed do the devils inspire their allies among men to dispute with you. And if you were to obey them, indeed you would be associators of others with Him. Allah has not made for a man two hearts in his interior, and He has not made your wives, whom you declare unlawful, your mothers. And He has not made your adopted sons your true sons. That is merely your saying by your mouths. But Allah says the truth, and He guides to the right way. Those who pronounce dhihar among you to separate from their wives, they are not consequently their mothers. Their mothers are none but those who gave birth to them. And indeed, they are saying an objectionable statement and a falsehood. But indeed, Allah is pardoning and forgiving. And those who pronounce dhihar from their wives, and then wish to go back on what they said, then there must be the freeing of a slave before they touch one another. That is what you are admonished thereby, and Allah is acquainted with what you do. And he who does not find a slave, then a fast for 2 months consecutively before they touch one another. And he who is unable, then the feeding of 60 poor persons. That is for you to believe completely in Allah and His Messenger, and those are the limits set by Allah, and for the disbelievers is a painful punishment. For those who swear not to have sexual relations with their wives is a waiting time of 4 months, but if they return to normal relations, then indeed Allah is forgiving and merciful. And if they decide on divorce, then indeed Allah is hearing and knowing. Prohibited to you are dead animals, blood, the flesh of swine, and that which has been dedicated to other than Allah, and those animals killed by strangling, or by a violent blow, or by a headlong fall, or by the goring of horns, and those from which a wild animal has eaten, except what you are able to slaughter before its death, and those which are sacrificed on stone altars. And prohibited is that you seek decision through divining arrows. That is grave disobedience. This day those who disbelieve have despaired of defeating your religion. So fear them not, but fear me. This day I have perfected for you your religion, and completed my favor upon you, and have approved for you Islam as religion. But whoever is forced by severe hunger with no inclination to sin, then indeed Allah is forgiving and merciful. O children of Adam, we have bestowed upon you clothing to conceal your private parts and as adornment. But the clothing of righteousness, that is best. That is from the signs of Allah that perhaps they will remember. O children of Adam, let not Satan tempt you as he removed your parents from paradise, stripping them of their clothing to show them their private parts. Indeed, he sees you, he and his tribe, from where you do not see them. Indeed, we have made the devils allies to those who do not believe. And when they commit an immorality, they say, "We found our fathers doing it, and Allah has ordered us to do it." Say, "Indeed, Allah does not order immorality." Do you say about Allah that which you do not know? They ask you, O Muhammad, about the new moons. Say, they are measurements of time for the people and for Hajj. And it is not righteousness to enter houses from the back, but righteousness is in one who fears Allah, and enter houses from their doors, and fear Allah that you may succeed.